Hi guys, it's Tracy. Welcome back to my channel. Thanks for joining me. So today I'm making a Wiper Surprise card. It's another card for a challenge that I'm a design team member for. Here's what the card looks like. And let's get started. From Concord and 9th I'm using the Darling Petals Turnabout stamp and coordinating die set. And from Mama Elephant I'm using the Wiper Surprise die set. I set the Turnabout stamp up in my MISTI using the Handy Alignment Aid and the Turnabout jig that is available from Concord and 9th, and I go ahead and I stamp up my backgrounds using two 6x6 squares of card. So it's ready to cut with the Wiper Surprise die set. Concord and 9th do have on their website comprehensive instructions on how to stamp out this Turnabout stamp set. So I've gone ahead here and I've cut out the base pieces for my Wiper Surprise card. So I've got two pieces here. And I've marked on the back of both of them which one I want to be the front and the back. Because I've already stamped my pattern onto the card, I need to make sure I've got it in the right orientation. So I had to fold it accordingly. There are some great tutorials on YouTube for this Wiper Surprise die set, and I chose to watch three of them: Mama Elephant, Ali Loves Card Making, and Dawn Lewis, and I shall link those videos in the comments box below. I've gone ahead here with a wavy stitched border, and I'm cutting that from my front panel. Just tidying up the corner piece there where it didn't cut all the way through. And I'm bringing in my back panel here, and I'm going to put the front panel onto it, and you can see that's how it's going to look. I'm going to stick down the left hand side of the front panel now using Gina K Connect glue. And I'm taking care to line that up and make sure it's straight on that edge. Once I've got it stuck down, I give it a bit of a rub with my bone folder, and that helps get a good stick. Onto the wiper part, and with the Wiper Surprise die set you get 5 wipers to choose from, and I've chosen this wiper. With these wipers, when you die cut them, an image of an elephant is imprinted. And a good thing to remember is the elephant should always be standing on his feet, and that's the correct way up for the wiper. And you fold the fold line away from the elephant. So I'm putting glue on top of the elephant, turning it around and putting it in place on the front panel of the wiper card. I did have to trim a little bit off there, but that's okay. I didn't want it to get caught on the back of the card. So I'm just testing to make sure the wiper is working. And I noticed that it's hanging down a little bit at the bottom, so I pull it open and I just re-burnish that fold, and that fixes it up. In the Darling Petals Turnabout stamp and die set there are these individual flowers that are layers and a leaf, and I'm going to put them onto the card. There's also a die that says Darling, and I'm thinking about putting that on the front as well. So I go ahead and I stamp those flowers and leaf out using the same inks that I used to stamp out the turnabout background. And I get them die cut ready to use to go on the front of the card. Now you can see here I'm using my Ultra Crisp dye ink in the Rubellite, which is one of the colours that I used in the background, and I'm using one of those makeup brushes to blend that colour onto this piece of cardstock that has been backed with stick-it adhesive. I go ahead and I die cut the word hello from that pink cardstock and the Darling, and that is a die from Essentials by Ellen letterboard script die set. I cut it out with that pink card and then layer it with 2 other white ones. I've got this little piece of card here that's 1.5 by 1 3/4, and that's a perfect size to put the hello onto, which is then going to go onto the wiper. So I've got my hello here, and I'm going to put some adhesive onto the back of it and stick it onto that piece that will be attached to the wiper. So when you move the card, hello will be the element that pops up. So I'm sticking that down. And now I'm going to sort out how I'm going to adhere it to the wiper. This was the best way I found. I just put the glue there and I lined it up against the bottom edge of the card so that I knew that it wouldn't hang out the bottom. I'm just testing it. Yep, that's how I'm wanting it to look. And it's time to glue down that right hand side of the Wiper Surprise card. So I'm gluing the front panel to the back panel on that right hand side using Gina K Connect glue. Making sure it's straight, give it a burnish, Make sure everything's pressed down. And I'm happy with how that's looking, with the hello popping up. So I'm going to go ahead now and I'm going to stick these flowers onto the front to give it a bit of a three-dimensional look. So I'll put a leaf and a flower onto the hello. And after I get that stuck down, I spend a little bit of time working out where I'm going to put the other flowers onto the front panel. And also I bring in the word darling that I have layered onto a piece of vellum that you can see up in that top right hand corner there. I've got the 3 flowers there positioned on the front panel of the card where I'd like them to be, and I'm just trying to work out what I'm going to do with this darling. And I realised that I would like it to have a little bit more dimension, so I cut it another 2 times from white cardstock and I layer them all together. And I've just got them there onto the piece of vellum that I freehand cut. And I'm happy with how that's looking. So I'm going to stick this darling down onto the front of the card now. I've been using this little tool lately. It's the Caesar Easy Weed tool, and I usually use it for weeding vinyl, but it's been ever so handy lately just to hold things down and things like that. It's also got a very sharp point on the end, so that's handy as well. So I'm just sticking the darling down to the front of the card, and when you open it up, it says hello darling, which I think is very cute. So I've gone ahead here and I'm putting some aqua shimmer pen onto the flowers and the leaves. And what I also did was I put some Tonic Nuvo glaze onto the 3-dimensional flowers and also the word hello and the word darling. But it kind of made the ink underneath go a little bit different colour, a little bit lighter than I expected it to do. But that's okay, I'm not totally offended by it, and I'm sure this happens to everybody. And it happened to me, so that's okay. It still looks good, I'm still happy with it. So there we go guys, this card is now finished, and if you'd like to go to my blog there'll be an entry there which explains the challenge that this card was made for. And if you'd like to subscribe to my YouTube channel, I would really love that. Thanks for watching, bye for now.